So I'm going to talk today about something a bit strange, meditation, and in particular, virtual reality meditation. So for a lot of people, meditation is seen in one of either two ways. Either it's a weird religious experience or it's something that hippies do.
Totally. This looks cool.
It's certainly a long way away from that sort of Skyrim type immersive gaming experience that most of us bought VR to play, myself included. The thing is though, meditation isn't like that. There's a growing scientific acceptance that meditation can help everything from bipolar disorder to depression. And here in the UK, the most popular form of meditation, called mindfulness, can be seen everywhere from the pages of our own National Health Service to the help and advice guides on university websites for stressed out students. Mindfulness isn't about reaching some state of nirvana or going on some magic quest to find your inner self. It's simply about taking some time to yourself to notice your own thoughts and emotions in order to reduce stress, anxiety, or tension. So this leads me to something I found this week browsing the Steam store, an app called Guided Meditation VR. This application aims to sort of enhance meditation through both actual guided sessions that take you through an experience and through the more obvious practical use of VR being able to take you away from your everyday life. Now, this interests me for a few reasons. Firstly, as a tech person, because it's another application for VR I'd never even considered. And secondly, as a person who does practice meditation, because it's taken one of the few things in my life where technology plays a sort of virtually no role at all, and trying to marry it with something where we're sort of at the cutting edge of technology. I've done a few sessions in the application. I'd normally do this at home in my bedroom. I've did it here on the office floor. And in conclusion, I can see how VR for meditation could actually be quite a big benefit, but also somewhat of a hindrance for some people. So let's start with the positives. And the big one for me is the ability to transport you to a different environment. I have to meditate with my eyes shut usually because there's too much around me in my house, too many objects that make focusing difficult. For example, things that conjure up feelings or memories or emotions. I mean, that's why we decorate our houses in the first place. It's great to be able to put on the headset and just be transported somewhere instantly and be able to meditate without having to shut my eyes. Likewise, I can see how the ambient noises in the game help. I mean, while you don't have to worry too much about background noise with meditation, I'd rather be listening to nature noises, even simulated nature noises, than the noise of the street outside. I also didn't find the act of wearing the headset, having it strapped to my head, as much of a distraction as I thought it would be. Mindfulness meditation is constantly bringing yourself back to your body, and I was worried that having that on my face would make it unable to really bring my mind away from being in VR. But just like the great VR games can sort of take you completely away from that experience, having the piece of plastic strapped to your face, the actual meditation session, the guided session in the application made it quite easy to forget. And that's where I think VR meditation will really help people. If you want to meditate but you don't have the right environment to do so, VR can create a space that makes it a lot easier, especially for people that are just starting out. I do have some reservations though. The sort of full experience the game wants to provide you, that's sort of the meditation, the narration, the sound, the music, the graphics. It's kind of the sensory overload that you really don't want for meditation. It makes it more difficult with all those things turned on, at least for me.
Welcome to session 5. I hope now that you're feeling a certain familiarity about getting into the preludes, if you like.
I also worry that apps like this blur the line between sort of helping meditation and giving full-on medical advice. There's a whole meditation section on depression in this app, and if you check around the website and the Steam page for guided meditation, there's a distinct lack of professional or medical qualifications here that make them no more qualified to help your depression than a random stranger on the street. Still, with that warning in mind, to take every line of narration not quite as full-on medical advice, I think I could see VR meditation really catching on. There's some gamification elements here. Things like the activity tracker could really encourage people to make it more of their everyday routine. So perhaps you're watching this and you're still utterly unconvinced that meditation works, or perhaps it's simply not something that you'd be personally interested in. But trust me, meditation catching on could actually be a good thing for everyone. The more uses we find for VR, the more viable VR becomes from a practicality standpoint and also a financial one. Dropping £700 on a system just to play video games may be out of reach for a lot of households, but having a system where different family members can use the device to play games, to learn, to exercise, to meditate, it suddenly becomes a much more interesting concept, especially for bigger families. You remember the Nintendo Wii? That console didn't become the third best home-selling games console of all time, simply because it had a unique motion control system. Sure, it also had some excellent first-party Nintendo games, but the reason you found a Wii in nearly every home in the country a decade ago was that it was considered to be sort of a lifestyle thing. Things like Wii Fit and Just Dance. The system positioned itself as a machine for everyone, not just a games console. If the chicken and egg scenario, the lack of critical mass in terms of audience, means that consistent AAA experiences in VR are still some way away, then it's experiences and applications like guided meditation that could help spur on more growth and open up that market to something more commercially exciting to developers. In the meantime though, if you have any interest in guided meditation, I would check this app out. Maybe check out the Headspace app for mobile phones that can help you get into the concept of meditation without having to throw money away as you do with the meditation app. Just make sure that if you do try the app, you tweak the settings, find out what's comfortable for you, and don't take every word in there as serious medical advice. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you like what you see here on Drupal. We have new videos out every weekday based on retro games, indie games, and VR tech. Thank you. Goodbye.